Say,
We going live, G.
huh?
All right, man. I think we going. Hey, y'all. Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is AJ the franchise.
It's your boy Ben the Great.
Hey, and this is Talking Real Spill podcast.
Yes, sir. Well, we basically come and chop it up with y'all about some everyday life topics. May expose y'all to some things y'all may not know about. But we are no way gurus about anything we speak of or anything we're doing. So with that being said, we're not teaching y'all. We just telling y'all, you know what I'm saying, and bringing y'all along our journey, as well as giving y'all our thoughts and opinions, man. So with that being said, welcome to the discussion.
Right. And we had one of our subscribers
Right.
that commented on the Facebook, and she was basically asking about was we going to talk about the pants sagging,
Yes, sir.
and how disrespectful it is to women to
Right.
see like a grown man's like underwear,
Yeah.
and we just wanted to touch bases on that and kind of elaborate on that a little bit, just to get the fans back, exactly what
Yeah.
we asked y'all to do, to put in what y'all wanted to hear in the comments. So this is basically kind of, we're going to jump into, just the characteristics of a man.
Right,
and,
right.
and what consists of a man, and just kind of giving y'all a little bit of what we think of what we're not saying that this is the stature or the limitations of a man.
Right,
We just giving
right.
y'all our concept or what we think.
Definitely, like,
Yeah.
it's just definitely not the absolute definition of a man or a good man or a real man, but we
Right,
just
right.
giving y'all our thoughts on, things we think we as men should or should not be doing, or
Right.
should do better, you know what I mean? And like he said, she basically was expressing her hate or dislike on seeing the underwear, where guys are sagging so hard that you see their underwear, and
Right, right.
with that being said, I have to absolutely agree with her, man. I don't like seeing that, myself. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Like, because if
Mhm.
I'm in the store or I'm in the, I'm out with my mom, my grandma, my wife,
Right.
whoever. I don't want them to see it. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? I
right.
don't want them to see your underwear or what you have on under.
Right.
I mean, it's
And
uncalled for.
And I feel the same way.
Right.
I mean, we both come up from from the sagging and doing that when we was younger, when we was teenagers and stuff
Definitely.
like that.
Definitely.
And we not downing nobody about who is sagging and stuff like that, because we still do it too at a limitation.
Right.
But we come from doing the same thing when we was younger, but as we grew up, it wasn't just a good sight to see.
Right.
You grow up to kind of mature a little bit and kind of carry yourself a certain way. And that goes into the following of the characteristics of a man, how you should carry yourself and stuff
Right.
like that. And so now I kind of feel like it's getting a little bit out of line
Yeah.
with the new generation,
Yeah.
because now it's like the pants is going way like
Yeah.
almost to the knees, and it's kind of ridiculous now.
Yeah, basically.
And I'm not saying, like I said, we not down nobody that is doing it,
Right.
but it's like I feel like it should be a limitation to it. Like you don't have to have it on your waist, tight on your waist, built,
Right.
tuckle tight on your waist, but maybe to where it's still presentable, to where you can still be somewhere and not be looked at or
And-
criticized by
exactly.
anything.
Yeah, because me personally, I believe, or I think, it was kind of started or kind of picked up as a fashion thing, right?
Right,
Because you know how we do, man. I think we can almost take anything and make some out of it, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So it was took and made into a fashion thing, right? So,
Mhm.
like, even myself, like you said, I don't wear my pants exactly on my waist. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I do have a slight sag about myself, but
Right.
you're not gonna know what kind of underwear I have on. You're
Right,
not gonna
right,
see,
right.
my pants all the way down below my butt.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like that's too much. And like you
Right,
say, it's
right,
not sagging itself is not a bad thing. I just think it's gotten out of hand. They've taken it and flipped it to something that's just not presentable anymore. Like, man, who you don't want somebody, mom, grandmother, grandfather, whoever is looking at your underwear, man. That's just it's uncalled for, man. It's not a good look.
Yeah,
it's not a good look. And then just on that concept alone is not a good look. But sometimes, like, man, most of the time I see it's like it look ridiculous.
It look ridiculous, man.
Man, like now, and like you say, we come from sagging. I used to sag.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
both of us.
Not as even more than I do now, so I don't do it as much as I used to now. Like I said, it's just a very slight sag for me myself now.
Right.
But even with me used to do it, now I look at some guys and it's just like, bro, come on, man, it just don't make sense, man.
Really
what are you doing?
Exactly.
And then most guys
like if you walking around to where you have to hold your pants up while you walk.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
That's too much.
The whole time you can only use one arm because the other one has to stay on. I mean, come on, bro. Like you're just doing
that's
too much.
That's what we mean.
It's
that's
just
what we
too
say.
much.
It's a little bit too much. Yeah.
So I definitely think you know the saying, man. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So I don't think sagging itself is a bad thing, man. It's just how you do it. So like I say, man, I definitely have a slight sag because just wearing my pants on my waist all the way, it just didn't feel right. Just I guess because I was so used to a sag or whatever. So now I'm slightly below the waist. You know what I'm saying? But you like you're not gonna see what kind of underwear I have on. I mean, so it's I'm not allowing my kids to do it. Or my nephews and things like that. So it's definitely a way to do anything and everything, man. And I think the way they're doing it now, as far as like, I'm not just gonna say this generation, but a lot of kids, a lot of people, because it's men doing it too. Yeah, it's just like you say, it's just getting out of hand. If you ask me, what I mean, and I think it can definitely be done better or different. So,
right. Yeah, you're definitely right about that, man. Yeah. And I also would like. That goes in a little bit of elaboration of that mindset kind of conversation that we had the other day, and like also about how we are kind of structured, and it kind of goes back to what we talked about on the breaking the curses a little bit. We kind of get this mindset of thinking like we see another brother or another guy. And he's dressed like uppity, or or preppy or something like that. We'll look at it like, when he's an uppity guy or he's an uppity brother or something like that. When like we kind of got this mindset of thinking like, if he don't dress like us, then he's considered part of them, or he's trying to dress like another race or something like that.
I mean,
and stuff like that.
Let's just say it how it is. Honestly, a lot of us will be like, man, he dressing white. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is
like a white guy,
crazy
something like that.
Until you change your mind, it's like it made sense back then, but like now it's like, no, he not. Because if you really look at it, if you really take time to look at our history, because that's how we used to dress. You know, back in the day, our fathers, our grandfathers, even the kids, man, we was dressed in slacks. You know what I'm saying? A nice dress shirt, bow ties.
Nice
that was automatic.
Right.
Nice belt. Or suspenders or whatever the case. Your pants, like back in the day, a long time, sagging wasn't even heard of back then. So
it's kind of like as time went on, the culture of it changed to where the sagging became popular. And, baggy clothes and stuff like that.
Back in the day, you go back, it was all about being a gentleman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A gentleman. So that's that was a part of that. That attire, dressing that way, you know what I'm saying? With like I say, nice slacks, nice with your hat and everything, your brim or whatever. So
the whole nine.
That's where we come from. You know what I'm saying? So to look down on that is just like, it's really some ignorance, which is like lack, we just didn't know, or you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's just misinformed. So it's not. That's not a bad thing, man. It's just it's not knowing.
And just like I have like family. My cousin Anthony. Shout out to Anthony, man. He has his own little swag. He was a capper and back in Lamar, and he has that pretty boy swag and stuff like that. Where he does the white boy look, the bow tie, the suit. He does the tight pants, the flooding look, all of that, So I mean, I used to look at him like, man, you dressing up, and man, what happened to what we used to dress like back then? Because we used to dress the same. But then, as I grew older, you know, I kind of just looked at it like, man, that's just that man's swag, you know. And there's nothing wrong with it, you know. We should kind of break out of that mindset of always kind of criticizing each other about, you know, appearance and stuff like that. Because if it's not the way that you dress, that don't mean that, you know, he isn't the same type of guy that you are, or you know.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, we got that bad, man. We got that bad. It's like, if you not, like you say, if you're not with us, you one of them, or you're against us. So I think we definitely have to pull away from that, man, to understand. You know, everybody have their own little, you know, style and everything. You know, and it goes back to, like you said, just how a man carries himself. You know, which is huge, man. And when I speak of that, I'm talking about as far as just knowing how to, you know, stay well groomed. You know what I'm saying? Right,
smelling good,
looking good. You know, you smell good, you look good, you feel good. You know,
feel good.
Women recognize that.
Definitely.
You know, if you looking rough all the time, you know, you smelling like not necessarily that you stink, but you smell like sweat all the time. Like, man, you
outside,
go woman, man.
You know, You know, a woman likes to have a guy that they messing with, or a boyfriend or a husband that, you know, they smell good. You know, sir. They keep they self groom. You know, they look nice. You know, their pants ain't hanging off the butt. You know, stuff like that. So, you know, this is, you know, just a little bit of how we think. You know, how men should carry themselves.
And that's just it's just a good look, man. And you know, like they say, man, it's you only get one first impression. Right. So, and you know, when we say this, it's not you don't have to have on the slacks, this, that, and the other, but you know, just nicely dressed. You know, a nice shirt, nice pair of pants, but not all down your butt.
Exactly.
You know, you're wearing them presentable. You look nice. You smell good. Your hair's cut. When somebody see you, you know, they'll look at you, and you know, I'm pretty sure it's like, okay, boom, let's at least they'll give you a chance, you know. And I know a lot of times it's like, you know, a lot of people probably don't even care what the next man think, but sometimes that matters, man. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, sometimes that matters because first impressions is big. Yeah, you know, it's big, and not even first impressions, just being presentable within itself, man.
Because I know, like, for instance, for me, like, you know, if it's that first date or, you know, that first approach to a woman, like, I want to make sure I look good. Or if I'm looking busted up or roughed up, like, I don't want to approach a woman or you know, a lady, and you know, I'm looking like the way I'm looking. You know, if I am going to approach a woman, then it's going to be, you know, when I'm looking nice, or you know, when I'm feeling good, or you know, I'm still gonna have those characteristics that we named off in place. You know, before I just approach a woman, or even like even if I did come, you know, halfway on an approach, and then, you know, maybe I got a girl's number or whatever, right? And we go out on that first date, like, that's why I'm gonna, you know, jump out the freshest. You know, I'm gonna make sure I got the, you know, the clothes laid out on the bed. You know, it's gonna kind of be like that first day of school. You know, back in the day. You know, what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm about to kill him. Yeah. So, you know, it kind of give you that old feeling back. You know, and you kind of want to have that excitement about looking good like that when you are having those first dates and stuff like that. Because, like I said, like Ben said, like, those first impressions mean a lot. Definitely.
But you know, along on with those lines, you know, along those lines is like you're saying, you know, you about to go on that first date, right? So you wanna, you know, you kind of got that feeling, you wanna be fresh, you know, you like, hey man, let me go on show what she about to be getting into, right? But with that, it's like me, man. I have a saying, right? So like, if I'm stepping out the house, you know, like I have a wife, I have kids, right? Right. If I'm stepping out the house, I'm representing my wife and my kids. Right. Mm-hmm. So if I go to the store and someone, you know, see me that knows my wife, believe it or not, you know, or whether they admit it or not, they're gonna look at me and be like, okay, well, if I'm looking bummy, they're like, that's you know, that's her husband, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I'm on point, they're like, oh yeah, that's your husband. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, I want to be I want to be at my best all the time.
All the
you know,
time.
not necessarily dressed up, but I'm presentable whenever.
Right.
If I'm going to the corner store, you know, I'm matching. You know, I got on something.
Exactly.
It's not.
I'm
I'm
the
not
same
putting
way.
on my best clothes,
I'm the same
but
way.
I'm matching. You know, if I
Exactly.
have on a hat, it's matching something I have on.
Right.
You
Even
know,
if it's just like a basketball shorts and a shirt, you know what I'm saying? Put some shoes on to match that. Put a hat on to match that.
Just
you know, if
be
your hair looking
presentable.
messed up, just you ain't gotta dress like 100% like swear that at all times at all days. You know, but if like we were saying, if we do just got a basketball shorts on and like a regular shirt, you know, you can still look nice with that. You know, just match with it. You know, and you can still be presentable. You know, and like if you want to talk to somebody or in society, you know, you're not looking bummish. You know, in a way, you know, you still looking nice. You still looking presentable. You still matching. You know, even if you still just, you know, ladder-gagging around, you know.
Right. And I think, man, like as men, we have to get back to where we're like that, to where we care about our appearance. We care about the image we put out. Mm-hmm. You know, because I think a part of that, you know, kind of touching back on that sagging thing, I think a part of that is just kind of not caring, man. It's like, hey, this is what we do, and it is what it is.
Right.
But we got to kind of start putting some care back into how we're perceived. And when I say how we're perceived, not necessarily from other races or anything like that, but just period as a whole, as a man. You know, like as men, we have to get back to just those old roots, man. We have to start carrying ourselves like men. You know, even the way we communicate with men. Like I see a lot. I try to teach my kids, like when I'm, you know, if I'm talking to a man, I'm meeting a man, I'm shaking his hand and I'm looking him in his eyes.
Right.
You know, I was always taught if a man shake your hand and he can't look you in the eye, he look down, that's a sign of weakness. We have to start, you know, putting out that image of power again. You know, that men are powerful. You know what I'm saying? That we are strong. You know, real men. You know what I'm saying? So when we're talking to another man, we have to treat him like a man and then present ourselves as men. You know what I'm saying? Shake his hand, look him in the eye, man. You know, talk to him and talk to him like a man. You know, we got to learn how to communicate as far as, you know, our issues or whatever the case may be, man. As far as expressing our love, you know, like, you know, we was always kind of taught, you know, not to be weak and not to show love. So we have to get back to the roots of how a real man, real man was and is. I believe, you know.
Right, and just to piggyback off of that, like, you know, that kind of falls into the place of like, you know, in a relationship, you know, kind of keeping that relationship hot. You know, taking your girl out on dates, you know, or taking your girl out on vacations, or even if it's with the kids, or even if it's not your your girlfriend, your wife, your significant other, or whatever, you know, take those women out, you know, on dates, or you know, just take them out sometime. You know, staying in the house is cool, you know, if that's y'all thing, you know, but it's always good to keep things hot too. You know, you always kind of want to keep things, you know, spicy and stuff. So you want to definitely, you know, just show a good time. You know, y'all might just go out and spend just a little bit of money and just have a good time, and that'll be you know, something in remembrance of y'all relationship. You know, y'all can think back like, hey, remember when we did this? You know, and you know, that was fun, and and so you kind of want to keep that spark, you know, sometimes. So. That's just another thing I feel like you know, that should be done by men, you know, kind of keeping that spiciness going in a relationship by kind of going out every now and then when you can, you know, stuff like that.
I definitely agree with you, man. We have to, as men, we have to know or learn how to treat our women. Right. Because, and I'm talking about from initial, you know, initial meeting to now you're my girlfriend, my wife, or whatever. We have to know how to treat our women, right? Because as men, one thing we demand from our women is respect. Like, I mean, we have to, as a man, we have to have respect, right? But as men, we have to give our women something to respect, right? So if you're a man and you want respect, but you're doing everything wrong, or you're doing everything, you know, that you don't respect out of another man, how do you expect your woman to respect that, right? So as a man, I have to give my woman what I want her to respect, right?
Right.
So I want that respect, so I have to show her why she should respect me, right?
Right,
Or
right.
give her something to want to respect.
Give a little respect.
Yeah.
Give a little respect.
I mean, yeah.
Right,
So
right.
as far as you saying, like with those constant
Right,
dates,
right.
those vacations and things like that.
Nah, I mean, even just with that, you know, just off of what you said with that, like, I feel like that's a big thing too. Like, for like the concept of what was we going with this? With the relationship thing,
Yeah.
like. It's okay to be submissive on the man side too, but also
Okay,
being
yeah,
like the man figure in the household as well.
Right.
You know, like being a man in the household, in a relationship, and as a man to your father. I mean, to your kids.
To your kids.
You
Right,
know,
right,
so
right.
I just feel like you know that's also like plays in a part of everything that you were just saying. Like, I mean, I feel like also like a man should be submissive too. Like, it shouldn't always be what a man wants, or it should be everything that a man says. You know, I think that it should be times where you could watch one of your wives or females movies, or watch one of their TV shows,
Right.
and just kick back and just do what they want to do sometime. You know what I'm saying? That ain't all about like just being dominant at all times, you know,
Yeah.
and having that description of that's the man, or because they listen to me, and they listen to everything I do, then that's the man.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? It should be like a submissive kind of issue. I mean, a submissive kind of thing on both sides.
Like
Right.
a give and take.
Right.
I think, you know, I'm married. You know, I've been married for quite a while now. So I think especially marriage, but any serious relationship, you know, it have to be give and take.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If your ideal of a man is just saying something and she doing everything, then you're not being a man. You like a bully. You know what I'm saying? You're not.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
like,
Right.
her doing everything I say don't make me a man. Doesn't define me as a man, right?
But it's
How
a
I
lot
take
of
care
people
of-
that kind of
Yeah,
get
it's
that mindset that
I definitely
that's
agree.
the definition of
I
a man.
definitely agree.
Right.
But you know, as a real man, it's like how I take care of my business.
Mhm.
That's what makes me a real man. You know,
Right.
taking care of the household, taking care of the wife and
kids.
kids. You know, taking care of my business period. You know, working or whatever the case it may be. That's what make you a man. Standing on your
Right.
morals. You know, your principles. That's what make you a man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, kind of touching back on what we said. When you do those things and those things line up
Right.
in the right way, the woman will respect that off top, right? And like you said, if you're that type of man, then yeah, definitely. If you know you have a good solid woman, and tonight she want to do this, yeah, you'll do that. Like, it's not all about, hey, well, I want to go, you know, I want to go watch the fight or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or I want to go
watch
do this.
the game, or
Yeah.
I want to watch this new action
Sometimes,
movie that
man,
came out. You
no,
know,
sometimes
sometimes
you
it's some
gotta tell
drama
the
movies
partners.
you gotta watch.
You gotta tell the
Sometimes
partners
it's some
sometimes
Lifetime
you can't
shows
do
you
that.
gotta watch.
Right.
Sometimes it's some love and hip hop you
Man,
gotta watch.
I didn't
stuff
watch
like
all
that.
of it, man.
Right,
I didn't watch
right,
the
right.
Lifetime. I didn't get
Right.
Love and Hip Hop, which I'm not doing that now. I'm done with that. But,
Right.
but you know, my point is, like, you have to. It's gonna be nights where you tell the homies, like, nah, I can't tonight. You know.
Right.
And it's not on no, I can't because she said I can, but it's like, nah, I can't because I'm gonna make sure she knows she's important also.
Right.
So I'm gonna spend time with her. You know,
Exactly.
I'm gonna do what she want to do tonight.
Exactly.
And you know, that's just being a real man. Like, being a real man to me is like, you know, sticking to your morals and your principles.
Right.
And if that to you is being real, then that's a real man.
Right.
It's no just set definition of a real man, if you ask me.
Right.
You know, because your partner's
Yeah,
might be
it's-
like,
it's-
man, you fake.
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
But-
A definition is definitely broad.
Yeah,
It's not like a set
right.
definition of a man. It's just like I said, how we came to y'all and was like, this is our opinion
Right,
of
right.
how a man should be or carry himself or characteristics of a man. You know, so, you know, we not saying that, you know, everything that we telling y'all is what y'all need to be doing now or to correct yourself from what y'all doing. It's
Right.
just more of giving y'all a different light of what it could be, or, you know, or just looking at it at a different way. Like, man, it's not bad to be this way. You
Right,
know,
right.
or you know, being scared of being criticized about being this way, you know, if that's gonna make you a better person in the end,
Right.
you know, or finding that woman that you really need in your life, you know, because you did change the way that you carried yourself, you know, vice versa, you know.
Right. Because I think, man, a lot of the things that men today do or don't do is based on, society, or
Right.
just the generation, the popular, I mean, what's going on, period. For as hip hop, just friends, just
Right.
other influences, So with that being said, I think if a lot of more men were being real to themselves, then a lot of things would probably be different.
Right.
As far as their relationships with their women, with the kids, with their friends,
Right.
because it's a lot of dudes that do stuff just to be cool.
Yeah.
I do this just so you
For
can think
clout,
I'm cool. I'm
like that.
yeah. It's a lot of stuff that's going on, and it's only because I want to be liked, or I
Right.
want to be cool. I want to be Sometimes you gotta say no. Sometimes
or
you
like
can't
maybe
do stuff.
you might be feeling some kind of way how your friends might feel about what you just did with your girl. Like
Right.
if you took her out to do this or whatever, you might think that if I tell my homeboys this, they might think that I'm weak
Yeah.
or stuff like that. And it shouldn't be like that. We should be at a whole nother mindset of everything, just even of how we greet each other. Like you said, with the looking each other in the eyes and having a firm grip, and it's more that could come with that. Like we could start greeting each other as kings and queens,
Man,
and
exactly.
and that's
Exactly.
a part of that mindset change. That we keep on preaching to y'all.
Exactly.
Like the way that you greet another man could be just a energy boost
Exactly.
on how he feel about himself, and stuff like that. And that may prolong to when he come home to his family and his kids. You never know what, how things might change just based off how we communicate with each other.
Right.
Instead
right.
of coming up like, hey dog, hey man, whatever like that. Hey king, hey,
Yeah, exactly.
stuff
bro.
like
and,
that.
And along, with that, back in our days, it was the mean mug, and just
Right.
how you look at somebody could start a fight.
Right,
Like
right.
for real, back in
Right,
our
right,
days, right?
right.
So even that energy, man, and it could be a whole thing based off of nothing, man.
Right.
Like, well, I could have been mad about something, you could have been mad at something, but like you looking at me a little too long or too stiff, and I
Right.
ask you what's going
Yeah,
on.
now
and-
we ready to fight. and all
because
that.
we don't know how to communicate.
Exactly.
Instead of just saying, "Hey, man, hey, you need to talk" or whatever.
Right,
because again, that's like a
That's
sign
their
of
mindset,
weakness, right?
yeah.
But now, like, man, I'm moving in a different direction, man.
Right.
It's like I'm like on what you saying, man. Like, hey, what's up, King? Hey, man, have a beautiful day, man.
Right.
Like, have you a good day, man. Make sure you have a productive day.
Exactly.
That's the kind of energy I'm on. That's the kind of energy, we own. That's the kind of
Right.
energy we need.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Because we have to start
Mhm.
uplifting each other. And again, this is
Absolutely.
about the characteristics of a man. Like
Right.
a man should be someone who uplifts his brother.
Exactly.
Respect his sisters, his women,
Right.
his mothers.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We should be like looked at and treated like kings.
Right.
As far as just
Right.
not and I'm not talking only from women. I'm
Mhm.
talking from each other and to each other.
Mhm.
Right? I'm gonna treat you like a king. You
Right.
treat me like a king. So now I feel like a king. I
Right.
carry myself like a king.
Like a king, right?
So I feel like we have to get back to that so that we start moving different.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like you say with the mindset
With
shift.
the mindset.
If I'm around 20 other dudes or 20 other people and I'm getting treated like a king,
Right.
then now I'm gonna start to carry myself that way, or I'm gonna
Exactly.
start to feel like that about myself.
Exactly.
So
Because
so
words
now-
are very powerful.
ah man,
Definitely.
Life
If you
and
get
death in
that,
the power of the tongue,
like I
you
told
know?
you, maybe on the second or third podcast, if you can think about it or dream about it in your mind, then you can hold it in your hands.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that kind of goes back into what we were just talking about. Like if you could change that mindset, your body gonna follow.
Facts.
So
facts.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
we always kind of revert back to that mindset thing because at the end of the day, everything that we telling y'all, the information that we giving y'all, it always gonna start back to that mindset,
Right.
And it's about changing that first, and then you'll start seeing, the end goal when you start making moves on, the progression of what you want to do in your life outside of, work or if it's just relationship things or whatever it is. Just
Right.
that whole transition of the mindset is where it all starts at.
Right, because touching on that, like I say, if you start to, feel like, hey, I'm a king. I start
Right.
to think I'm a king. I start to carry myself like king. Then
Right.
you're only gonna you're not gonna accept certain things. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right.
You're not gonna hang with certain people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once you start to carry yourself a certain way and look at yourself a certain way, then you will eliminate certain things from your life.
Right.
Like I can't hang with this person, or I can't be in these areas or in these situations. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You'll start to act different, man. You
Mm-hmm.
start to talk different. You start to walk different. You're just gonna start looking different,
Right.
like, because
Right.
now
Right.
I'm holding myself accountable. I'm a king. What am I sagging for? What am I showing my underwear for?
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
I'm a king. What am I coming out here stinking for? Like I'm gonna smell good. I'm gonna look
Exactly.
good. I'm gonna stay groomed. I'm gonna make sure, you know, when I talk, people feel my energy.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
I'm gonna make sure when I talk, people hear me.
Yeah.
Not just
Yeah.
saying I'm loud, but it
Right.
means I have something to talk about.
Right. And
You
just
know?
piggybacking off of that is that energy that you're talking about. Like when you come out and you looking good, smelling good, you know, looking good, stuff like that. Like you get an ego, you get a energy boost.
Yes, sir.
You know, you feel
Yeah.
good and you ready to come out like, hey, I'm ready. Like
Yeah.
you just got this energy, like you feel good, and
Yeah.
then that actually relate. Like people can see that energy or feel
People
that
feel
energy.
that, man.
So you know when you come across another person and you look good, feeling good, then you know you might come across a whole business opportunity or a whole nother friend or whatever it may be, just because you feeling good off
Just
that
like you
energy,
carrying
and then somebody else
yourself.
done
Yeah.
felt that, and now y'all the best of friends.
Yep.
You know, y'all doing this and that. You know, y'all hanging out vacation. Y'all might be doing business together. You know, the whole nine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you just would have came out just looking just whatever, and your energy wasn't there, you really didn't want to go out. You know,
Dry.
you dry. You weren't smelling
Yeah.
good. You weren't feeling good. You know, you're not gonna really attract the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, so you know that kind of, like I said, goes back into everything that we're talking about as far as like, you know, that feeling good energy thing. Like that definitely shows off. You know, when you do look presentable. You
Facts.
know, because you feeling good about yourself, man.
Yeah, I think it's a must, man. You know,
Right.
I think you know, anything you're trying to do in life, man.
Mhm.
You know, I don't think it's much you can do
Right.
these days in life just absolutely by yourself.
Right.
You're gonna have to interact or deal with people some kind of way.
Right.
So, you know, let's just get back to those ways and those times to where, you know, looking good, looking presentable, those things matter. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah, let's pull the pants up a little bit. You know,
Right,
like I
right,
say, you don't
right.
have to be on your waist tied tight with the
Right,
belt
right,
super
right.
tight, but you know,
The same way we look at it as men, women looking at it 2 times worse than what we looking
man.
at it as.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
definitely.
so
Yeah.
you know we already get judged, you know, just off first appearance. You know,
Yeah.
you could just be out in a store, or whatever like that, but a woman look you up head to toe. You know what kind of shoes you got on, what you
Right.
looking like. You know what kind of outfit you got on, how you carry yourself, this and that. So women
And
look at all that just
to put
off
this
the
out
off
there,
the rip.
Just to put this out there,
Right.
I think it was a time where sagging, you know, was cool to women. You know,
Right.
it was a time where women was like, okay, you know, it was what. But I
Right.
think honestly, like I, you know, I can't speak for everybody, but I think most women are not really into that anymore.
Right,
Period.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? So
Cause especially
you
when
know,
they
fellas,
came
even
out with
that,
the
think
fitted
about that.
jeans and you know
it's a
stuff
different,
like that.
it's a different style.
Right, it's
now,
a
you know,
different
it's a
style
different
now. Back
style.
then, it was cool with the baggy jeans and the baggy clothes, the long shirt, you know, stuff like that. But now, you know,
man.
you got fitted jeans. You know, you got more fitted stuff now.
And
so
I'm seeing
it doesn't look right when you see.
I'm seeing, you know, you got your your skinny jeans. I'm seeing these
Right.
cats sagging with
With
you got
skinny
the
jeans
skinny
on. That's
jeans,
crazy.
but the pants is beneath your.
Right.
Like, come on, bro.
It's
Like,
crazy.
it don't make sense, man.
Right.
You know, but
It's crazy.
that's just touching back on that, man. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
like man,
we just wanted to, you know, elaborate on that because of the comment that we had got
Right,
in our
right,
Facebook,
right.
post, and
Which
we just wanted to
definitely appreciate.
elaborate on that,
Definitely appreciate.
and that's exactly what we want y'all to do. We want y'all to come out, and we want y'all to, put in what y'all want us to talk about, and what you think that we should be pushing out to the people, and we're
Right.
gonna definitely do what we just did today, elaborate on that, and try to get it out to y'all, man.
Yeah.
So again, you can hit us up on our platforms on Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube. Definitely check us out on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
And subscribe to that, like, comment, share everything on YouTube under Talking Real Spill Podcast, and under all platforms under Talking Real Spill Podcast. And definitely big shout out to Salsa. We got to give big shout out to Salsa, man, for giving us this platform.
Definitely
and,
appreciate the platform. So.
right,
Yeah.
giving y'all this information. And on the on the business side of it, you can hit me up on www.anythingispossibleenterprises. .com if you want to do any deals with me as far as you a wholesaler, or if you a buyer, or if you a seller that's trying to get rid of a property. You can reach me on there, or you can reach me on one of our platforms, or you can reach me under AJ Morgan under my personal Facebook, and I'll be definitely looking forward to doing business with you on the Forex side.
On that Forex, man, like I say always, any comments, concerns, any information, questions, anything, definitely reach out to us on that Talking Real Spill podcast Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, Ben Wright. You can definitely reach out to me. Any comments you have, anything you have for us, whatever you want to know about it. Like I said, if you want to get together, get those charts up, we can definitely do that on the Forex tip.
And we're going to definitely get back into the more of the wholesaling, real estate, and more of the Forex. We're going to come in with part 3 of Forex, and with part 3 of breaking down wholesaling. We just been giving y'all a little bit of light discussions, and I think good topics about like I said, the mindset and everything that come with it. So
I mean, even as far as this podcast, anything you feel like we didn't touch on, anything we kind of missed or skipped over, hit us on that Facebook page, and leave those comments, man. Leave the questions or anything, man. If it's anything y'all would like to hear in the future, let us know, man, and we'll definitely touch on that, man.
Yeah. And shouts out to the lady that did. I can't remember her name right now because we got so many new followers coming in. I wish we would have written her name down, but she knows exactly who we're talking about. So thank you so much for inputting that comment that you did into the post, because we definitely took that in and we brought it to the show just like we asking y'all to do every week. So definitely keep continuing to do that. Keep dropping in, the inboxes about what y'all want to hear. We didn't elaborate on something, and we're going to try to get to that. And until the next discussion, y'all, this is AJ the Franchise.
It's your boy, Ben the Great.
And this is Talking Real Spill Podcast. See y'all Thursday.